P.E.I.'s 4 federal MPs are not happy with the province's Minister of Health. They want Cory Deagle to apologize for comments he made about apparent cuts to healthcare funding for the island. It all came to a head in the P.E.I. legislature today, and that is where our Wayne Thibodeau is and has more details for us now. Wayne, what are the MPs upset about?
Well, last week, P.E.I. Health Minister Cory Deagle said the federal government is cutting $29 million over the next 3 years for healthcare transfers to the province. Now, he rhymed off a list of programs saying the feds have left the province to absorb the costs for all of those programs. But it was some of the language that Deagle used here in the House that caught the attention of Ottawa. Here's a sample of some of Deagle's recent comments.
Honestly, what I'm focused on right now in our department is the federal government's cutting funding to our department, and we have to step up to the table. Where's the great Mark Carney now, Mr. Speaker? We have to fill the hole that the federal government's left. We're going to be there to support them, but if the federal Liberals aren't, they stand it up and then they sneak out the back door in the cover of the night, and then we're left holding the bag to finish funding this, Mr. Speaker. Funny, they seem to run away from it fairly quick, Mr. Speaker. I never thought I'd say, please give us Trudeau back. At least he gave us money to offer these services.
Now, Deagle says that the deputy ministers were told that the funding for these programs would not continue, but he says the federal government is now willing to come back to the table.
And Wayne, what do P.E.I.'s 4 Liberal MPs have to say about the comments that Cory Deagle made?
Well, they wrote this letter, and it's fair to say they're not happy. They say they're hearing from panicked constituents who have been contacting their office ever since Deagle made the comments last week. Now, in the letter, they say Deagle's comments were, quote, laden with misinformation and designed to sow fear and deflect responsibility. Now, they say the Canada Health transfers to P.E.I. will actually be increasing this year. Now, let's take a look at this letter that Charlottetown MP Sean Casey wrote. In it, he says, the strategy of painting P.E.I.'s major funding partners as an adversary is bizarre and ill-advised. Mocking the Prime Minister from the floor of the provincial legislature is noticed in Ottawa, and not in a good way. Now, the MPs say the federal health minister has always been willing to talk about renewing these programs. They also say Deagle made those comments before even meeting with the federal health minister. Now, they're scheduled to meet Monday. The MPs say the first thing Deagle should do is apologize. Now, I did talk to Deagle earlier today. He says he has no intention of apologizing. And Premier Rob Lance, just a few moments ago, actually told me this is just all politics. And he's confident that they'll be able to work together to be able to come up with a deal to continue the funding of these programs.
And I mean, they're meeting, right, with the federal health minister. Deagle is on May 4th, so we'll have to see how that goes. Wayne, thank you. That's Wayne Thibodeau reporting from the P.E.I. legislature tonight.